Right, today's lesson with Uncle Kev is going to be on percentages. Percentages is shown like this, and it equals out of 100. So any percentage is out of 100. Why do we need to know percentages? It's just good for waste factor. If you're doing timber framing, you might work out exactly how much timber you need, and then there might be a 10% waste factor. Alright, so if we do that as an example here, if there's 10% of waste, then we can get our plans, work out and get exactly how much 100/50 we need for all our framing members, all our studs, a couple of rows of dwangs right around the house, windows, doors. And say we come up with a number of 850 metres of framing, and that's what we need. There's always going to be a certain amount of waste. In this particular case, we've been given 10%. So 850 metres times 10% equals 85 metres. So we'll add 85 metres to that. 850 and 85 would be 935. So if we ordered 935 metres, we're going to get our 850 plus our 10% waste. 10 metres per 100. So that would be 100 metres per 1,000. So we've got 85 metres per 850. So that all sounds about right. It's not just waste, you may even work discount. So if you're the other side of the ledger, you can work discount. So say you were going to buy a new circular saw, and the new saw is going to be $350. And you hit up your local placemaker's rep or whatever, and he says, I can get you a 17% discount. Right? So we've got $350 times. Now, there's an easier way to do this, and the easier way is to work from that 100, 17% discount. So 100 minus 17 is equal to 83. So if we times that by 0.83, so we've got a calculator here handy, and our saw's going to cost us $350 times 0.83 equals, now it's down to $290.50. So with our discount off 17%, it's down to $290.50. Sometimes though we might have to add on GST. GST's at 15%. So if we add on GST at 15%, instead of multiplying it by a factor of 0.83, which is that 17% discount, if it's adding GST, it's plus 15. So if our saw was excluding GST, then if we use those same figures, $350 plus GST, we would times that saw by 115. So we'll times it by 1.15. So here's our $350 saw times 1.15, and that's now going to go to $402. So you can see that if we're adding on GST, we'll have our base figure of our 100 plus our 15%, which will take us to 1.15. If we've got discount, then we're going to take it to 0.83 if we've got 17% discount. So if we can do that in one big exercise, I'll leave that there. Now say I was to, say you bought your saw, and then you want to get a nice new battery Milwaukee portable planer. Well, you might find out the planers are $420 plus GST, right? And you speak to the Milwaukee man when he's round, and he says, oh, I can do you better than that. I can get you a 25% discount. So he's told you you're going to get discount of 25%. That means for every $100 you're going to get $25 off. So now let's work out what the cost of your portable plane is going to be. Start off with our base figure, 420 times our discount. So what's that figure going to be? It's going to be 100 less 25. 100 less 25 is 750 or 75.75. So we're going to go 420 times 0.75 equals, and that'll give us our excluding GST, and then we add the GST on last. So when we've got that figure, then it's going to be times 1.15, and that's our 15% GST. So if we work through that, $420 times 0.75 equals, we're down to $315. Then we've got to give the government their bit and the GST, we've got no qualms about that. So now we've got 315 times 1.15 times itself plus the GST. 1.15 equals $362.25. So you can see how whenever percentages are mentioned, that's how it's drawn. It figures out of 100. 50%, what's 50%? Half, something's half price. You go to Briscoe sale, 50% off, whatever the ticket price is, because a lot of shops have to include GST, so you don't often see them as plus GST. They'll have to include it. Alright, so if you remember, the discount will come off the 100, and the GST or anything getting added on, like wastage or those sort of things, will be plus, and we can work it that way. Alright?